Hi everybody, welcome back. So in this session we're going to look at some of the misinformation around essential fatty acids and some of the things that we do wrong with them. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Back in the 1950s it was discovered that essential fatty acids, in particular omega-6, was very good for our heart. It helped lower cholesterol. We also understood at that time that saturated fats weren't so good for our heart. So of course there became a great big movement to crowd saturated fats out of our diet and replace them with polyunsaturated fats that were high in omega-6. And we did this in two ways. Firstly, we replaced all of our lard and dripping and the things that we were cooking our roast vegetables and our roast meat in, and we replaced that with vegetable oils. And we also replaced butter with margarine. So there was a great big move to get more polyunsaturated fats into our diet, and a lot of companies advertised, hey, we now fry our chips in vegetable oils instead of animal fat, so it's better for your health. But this wasn't actually true. We'd done the wrong thing, because the thing about essential fatty acids is that they're very unstable in heat. So what happens is these little double bonds are areas of weakness, and if they're exposed to heat, that fat can turn into a trans fat, which is very damaging for our health. So instead of cooking in very stable fats, which were our animal fats, we were now cooking in oils that were unstable in heat, and out of it we were creating trans fats which act like saturated fats only on steroids. So this was really damaging for us. The same with butter. Because butter is made from animal fat, it's a saturated fat, we thought it must be bad for us. But in actual fact, butter is made from very short chain fatty acids with only 4 carbons. So it's very easy for our livers to process. So it doesn't tend to have quite the negative effect that a lot of lamb fat and beef fat and pork fat can have on our health. So we replaced it with vegetable oils, but no one wants to spread vegetable oils on their toast, so of course we needed to turn it into something that tasted and looked like butter, which required a lot of processing, and therefore you could potentially develop trans fats out of those as well. So in reality, if we're going to cook with fat, we need to use animal fats or coconut oil, and yes, we don't want a lot of those in our diet, so we need to limit that type of cooking. If we're going to have polyunsaturated fats, we need to make sure they're of a good quality. So that's why at Bestow we feel really passionate about how we protect our oils. To start with, we cold press them, so you get a lower yield of oil, but you get a very good quality oil. The bottles are all flushed out with inert gases first before the oil is packaged into them, so it is not exposed to oxygen. And lastly, we make sure that it is in a completely opaque container so no light can get in. So that oil is now protected from heat, light and oxygen, and as soon as you open it and let oxygen into that bottle, you must put it in the fridge or in the freezer if you're wanting to keep it for longer than 6 weeks. And that's why we do that. So hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more about the history of essential fatty acids and how we're best to use them in our diet.